Hello, here we are with a retail unboxing of the Sony Xperia SP. Now, if you've been following our YouTube channel or blog, you'll see we had hands-on with this just a few weeks ago, but now we have a final production unit, and at the time of recording, the Sony Xperia SP is going to land in the UK on the 30th of April. So here is the full retail packaging, fairly similar to a standard Sony product that we've seen of times past. We've got a rundown of some of the specifications on the back of this handset. So we've got a mobile Bravo Engine 2 on here. We've got the Exmor RS sensor. It's PlayStation certified, NFC, Android, Wi-Fi. We've got HDR on the camera. We've got a 4.6-inch touchscreen display. We've got an 8-megapixel camera, a dual-core 1.7 gigahertz processor, and an HD 720p display. So let's pop the cover open on here, and we're presented with the Sony Xperia SP, which we'll come back to in a moment. Under the packaging, we've got a 3.5mm set of in-ear headphones with inline microphone. They're in white colour to match the colour of the phone that we've got here. We've then got a UK mains adapter, so that's 3-pin with a USB connection there. We pop up the third pin to connect that into the mains power, and into that USB connection on the side we will connect the provided USB cable, which is here. So we've got full USB connection on one end, so that'll connect to the mains charger, micro USB connection on the other, which will connect to the SP itself, or of course this could be used to connect the phone to a computer. Then aside from that, all we've got left in the package is some documentation from Sony. So important information, startup guide, there we go. So that is the box content. So not as rich in content as some other boxes, but enough to get you up and going. And then we've got the device itself just here. So let's peel off the protective covers and show you the phone itself. So the Xperia SP doesn't really shout a lot. There hasn't been loads of marketing so far like the Sony Xperia Z, and I think it's actually a little bit of an underrated handset. With the pre-production unit that we had hands-on with, I was really impressed with what you got for your money. It's a really good value handset. So let's just take a look at some of the key features. So we've mentioned it's got a dual-core processor. On the front here we've got the 4.6-inch touchscreen display with a resolution of 1280 by 720. It's got Corning Gorilla Glass and Sony's mobile Bravo engine. Up the top there we've got a variety of little sensors, and we've got the Sony logo as well. And then we've got a front-facing VGA camera. So that's going to be good for your video calls, and we've got the earpiece up here as well. Down here then we've got what looks to be the microphone. We've got no sort of buttons down here, that's all built into the software, but down here we've got the illuminating panel which will show you once the phone is switched on. On the bottom it's completely flush. We've just got this silvery grey banding. Coming around to the other side, we're flush. We've got a little screw there for sort of design and build. Come all the way along, and then we've got the micro USB connection up at the top, and that sort of pokes out just a little bit. You can see how the design alters a little bit there, but you can use that for charging the phone, connecting to a computer, and also for sharing the content of the display via an MHL HDMI adapter out. And then on the top we've got the 3.5mm headphone jack. This silver band continues all the way around, and then we come round to the other side where we've got a lot more going on. It looks a lot more like other Sony Xperia devices. So we've got an up and down volume rocker key, we've got the OmniBalance power button, we've got another screw here, and then we've got a dedicated camera button, which is a great feature to see. Not enough products have a dedicated camera button nowadays. Now if we flick over to the back, we have the rear facing camera. So this is 8-megapixel with autofocus and LED flash. We've got the microphone, we've got a loudspeaker here, and then we've got the Xperia logo in the cover. It's not embossed or anything like that. You can't even feel that you're rubbing your finger across it. And as identified by a little sticker here, which is removable, we've got NFC built into this device. You may have noticed we had a little recess here. What we can do is we can use that to pull off the back cover, and that will grant you access to the back of the phone, and here you can then get access to the micro SD and micro SIM card slot. So this is where you will pop in your SIM card, get your phone working, got your micro SD card there, and the battery is all built in. It's not user removable, which I know won't be of great news to a lot of you, but it's all built into the phone, and then the cover just replaces like so. Okay, so what we've done now is we've powered up this phone and got it sort of set up a little bit to be able to show you some of the features. Just want to remind you of a couple of the specifications on here. So this has got a dual core processor, it's got 8 gig of internal storage, a gig of RAM, it's also got 4G on board here as well. So this is a truly connected handset. I really like this handset. It's compact, it feels good, it feels like that sort of phone you could take anywhere with you. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's functional. Right, but that aside, let's take a look around some of the software. Now, if you did watch our hands-on, not an awful lot has actually changed here, but you've got your normal customizable home screens we can press and hold, and then we've got the options to sort of change how the layout of the screen looks by adding wallpapers, apps or widgets, or adding additional home screens. We can delete home screens with the little X up in the top corner, or we can set which is our home screen by pressing the little home icon at the top here. So just to give you an example, we've got the widgets of clocks, email, Google Music, Google Search, home screen tips. You get the idea. We've got the different themes, and this will then affect the illumination that you actually get in the bottom bar here. So if I go and choose something quite deep, I'm not sure if that's going to show up on screen here, but if we go then home, can you see how the illumination goes to the amethyst color? So if I then go and change the theme again, let's go and change it to amber, go home, you'll see how the color then changes yet again. So it's entirely up to you what theme you have, and you can actually control the different notifications that you have within the settings. So let's just go into the settings, and I will show you that. So under display, you've got your theme and your light effects, and this is where you can choose what color different notifications are. So you've got unread SMS is white, but I could actually change what color, so you can have different illuminations for different things on the handset, which is a nice little touch, so you can easily tell whether you've got a missed call, a missed message, an alarm. So within the display settings, we might as well just stay here for a moment. We've got the Mobile Browser Engine 2, which you can switch on or off, and that's designed to enhance the images that you actually see on the screen. By switching that off, you can conserve battery power. You've got this glove mode, which is quite interesting, which you can switch on and off again, and that increases the screen sensitivity and basically allows you to wear gloves. So if you operate in cold climates, or you live in a cold country where you're generally wearing gloves, you'll often know that the problem is a lot of phones can't work with gloves on, but you can on the Xperia SP. You've got brightness controls here, so we've set up to full brightness, but you can automatically adapt it if you like. You can even control the white balance on your display, which is a nice touch. So you've got auto rotate, your font size, and your themes that we've touched on before. You've also got controls over the lock screen in terms of what you see on the lock screen there as well. Now we've got Wi-Fi, which we're connected to, we've got Bluetooth, you've got a data usage monitor there as well. We've got more options including tethering and portable hotspots, so you can share the internet connection from your phone with other mobile devices and set it up as kind of a wireless hub. You've got NFC on here and Android Beam that goes with it. Sort of standard sort of sound settings. I don't really need to show you this, but you've got xLoud, so that will increase the sound that comes out of the speaker. You can obviously control all the systems with vibration, dial pad tones, etc. Let's go into storage. So there's 8 gig built into the handset itself. That actually gives a total of 5.37 gig once all the basic apps are installed and everything, you get just under 5 gig available. But you do have the micro SD card slot, which can support cards up to 64 gigabytes in capacity if you format the 64 gig card in the phone and expand your memory there. So there's no shortage really of memory. Power management, well, as you can see here, we've got the battery at 58% and we're going to have just over a day, almost 2 days of usage. But we can pop on stamina mode, which is a much talked about option from Sony, and that's going to massively enhance our standby time on this handset. So that's a great option there if you want to conserve battery life and get more from the phone. There have been mixed reports about how well it works. I think it depends on your individual circumstances, but worth a try on that. And you've got more settings here around the battery and what the phone does for you. So we've obviously got apps installed on the phone, when this is where you can control them all. You can download your own from the Google Play Store. We've got this Xperia menu here. You can see that the device is PlayStation certified, so you can play PlayStation games on this handset. You've also got DualShock 3 wireless controller. Now this is a great option for any gamers out there. This is the first handset from Sony to allow you to connect up a PlayStation controller via USB cable. Now previous devices have been able to do that, but the difference with this one is once you've connected it up once with a USB cable, you can then disconnect the USB cable and use the PlayStation 3 controller over Bluetooth with the device. There'd be no more cables, so you could sit your phone sort of on a dock or something like that, and you could sit away from the device and control it over Bluetooth. You wouldn't have to be connected via a cable. And the real benefit comes is when you use the micro USB connection to connect this to a television. Your television could be the other side of the room from you, but you could be still playing the game and of course playing it back on the big screen. So you've got screen mirroring to share the content of your phone with a TV. It works better with Sony devices, but of course, as we mentioned, we can use the micro USB port there for content out. You've got throw settings, so you can actually share some of the media like music and images with other devices, such as AV equipment. Got all your normal location security things, setup guides. You can add your accounts. Let's just go into About the Phone to show you that this is the C5303 running Android version 4.1.2. So that's pretty much all you need to know about that. We can control running apps here by pressing this little key, and we can go into apps that we're already running. So we've had the web browser open and navigated to the Clove website, and you can see that we can then scroll around the website like so. We can pinch and zoom, we can double tap in, we can orientate in portrait and landscape mode, and navigate a web page like we would on a lot of other mobile devices. There's really no limitations. It's pretty quick over Wi-Fi here. Of course, you've got 4G connectivity subject to the appropriate contract that's come out of that. Let's just show you some of the pre-installed content that we actually get on the phone. So here's a little video. So the quality on that is pretty good, not quite as top notch as some of the higher end devices like the Sony Xperia Z or the Samsung Galaxy S4 or the HTC One. The sound's pretty good too. It doesn't sound tinny, considering it's from a sort of speaker on the back here. Not going to quite compete with HTC One's boom sound, but then again there's quite a bit of difference between the prices of these devices. So you've got your standard sort of phone functionality on here with your keypad dialer that will all sync up to your Google contacts or contacts on your SIM card. Standard sort of messaging, I don't need to go over this, but you've got MMS, of course, and your standard text messaging. We've got the Google Play Store, so if you're linked up to an account, you can download all your favourite applications directly to the handset. Of course, update the ones that come pre-installed on the unit as well. We have got a variety of connectivity options via the micro USB port there that you'll see in another video on our YouTube channel. You've got apps pre-installed on here, including YouTube. You've got Google Maps navigation. You've got Sony Smart Connect, which is an intelligent bit of software that can basically automate tasks for you. So for example, if you connect a set of headphones into the device, you can tell it every time you connect a set of headphones to launch your music player. You've got an FM radio on here, which is nice to see. You've got car mode, which is a safe way of using the phone in a car. Big sort of on-screen buttons. Of course, we don't advocate using the phone in the car, but if you need to, you've got this clearer icons to be able to do it. So then you've got sort of Google Plus, your Gmail, of course, all can sync up, and Google Talk, Play Movies, Local, and a few diagnostics and a file manager on here as well, which is nice to see. So you can actually control a lot of the content, and that works nicely if you're connecting things up via the micro USB connection. Let's just lastly look at the camera. Now you'll see video content from the camera and sample images on our blog, but here you get the idea. You've got the camera shutter button and the video recording button. Up here in the top corner, we've got in superior auto mode at the moment, but we can select from one of the other scenes. Normal mode will allow you to use full resolution of the camera, 8 megapixel, where you are limited with superior auto. You've got the video camera here that's going to record in HD for you, and you can see some of the settings that you've got. So you've got full HD resolution, you've got self-timer, focus mode, white balance. Here is where you can control some of the scenes to try and get you better settings. You've also got then the likes of a video light here to have on using the LED flash on the back, and a quick access to scenes. We can of course flick to the front facing camera as well to record content from that, but that is recording in VGA quality. You've got different picture effects here that you can use. So if you want to have a little bit of a play around, a bit of fun, then you can do so with this. You've got different scene selections, you've got your sweep panorama as well. One of the options that is missing here is burst mode, and then that's a bit of a downfall about the Xperia SP. Whether that will come in an update, I don't know, but that is one thing that you get on the Xperia Z phone that you don't get on the SP. But of course, you've got all these settings here that you can control. So if I just go back to superior auto mode, I can tap pictures away. I can record video like so, take a picture at the same time. There's no shutter sound, but those will be stored in your gallery. Stop the video. And of course, you do have the dedicated camera button on the top, which is good because sometimes you don't want to be touching the screen. So that's about it for our unboxing of the Sony Xperia XP, which is available from clove.co.uk.